on! Leave it on! America! See the music you want to see!
I want my MTV. All right.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
24 hours a day on cable TV.
I want my MTV, MTV, MTV!
Yeah, too much is never enough.
Evening News with Dan Rather substituting for Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. 3 days after the eruption of Mount St. Helens in southwest Washington state, imponderables dust the air like volcanic ash. 10 persons are known dead, 71 are missing, and one estimate is that it will take more than $150 million just for road and bridge repair.
With these spectacular photos of the mountain's worst eruption in more than 30,000 years.
Videotape of an incident that took place less than 15 minutes ago at the Washington Hilton Hotel when shots were fired at President Reagan. Here you see the president coming out now. You just have to watch. I don't know whether we can hear this or not. There's shots. God. These are the agents immediately diving after the assailant. There are 2 or 3 people.
The National Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta today released the results of a study which shows that the lifestyle of some male homosexuals has triggered an epidemic of a rare form of cancer.
Sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem.
These editors are programming today's copy of the paper, exception of pictures, ads, and the comics. 8 newspapers around the country are currently in the computer network, and within the next few weeks, 3 others will join in.
Banning into space, a layered defense to protect the country from nuclear devastation.
All right. This chick is toast. Got your stick? Oh!
She was grinning with excitement even before she left the Earth, even before the crowds here chanted, "Ride, Sally, ride," as Challenger took its supercharged journey into space.
And liftoff of STS-7 and America's first woman astronaut.
Violent scenes in 2 of the most popular summer movies, Gremlins and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, provoked the new rating. Complaints from parents that some scenes were simply too intense for children persuaded the motion picture industry to come up with PG-13.
9 p.m. on Wednesday, October 21st, 2015.
2015? You mean we're in the future?
CBC's Brian Stewart is in Ethiopia, and tonight he filed this report on the almost unbelievable horror of people without food, without hope.
It's feared close to 1 million could die within months, unless the world responds with a massive relief effort.
Eat my shorts. What was that? Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister.
One theory for the appearance of the hole in the ozone layer is that it's a natural phenomenon caused by the Antarctic's climate and the solar cycle.
But America's emotional ties to Coca-Cola would be strained as never before during 80 fateful days in 1985. But it wasn't the taste of new Coke that people didn't like. It was the idea of it, of changing a constant like Coca-Cola.
1985 opened with Congress celebrating Ronald Reagan's 74th birthday as his second term began.
A great new challenge, a second American revolution of hope and opportunity.
But in August 1985, Los Angeles was in the grip of terror. A killer had been stalking his victims through the city at night for more than 6 months, and the police had finally released a photo fit. Known that the same man had been responsible for at least a dozen brutal murders and scores of attacks ranging all over the vast city.
Nobody knows where this individual may strike next.
Using sophisticated robot cameras and the latest sonar equipment, the research vessel found the Titanic at a depth of 13,000 feet. And these pictures prove conclusively, after years of false hopes, that it is the Titanic, the ship once described as unsinkable.
Space shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Now control. Roger, roll, Challenger. Good, roll program confirmed.
So the 25th Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away from the side of the shuttle in an explosion.
A nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died.
A Soviet accident where radiation has been measured 600 to 1,000 miles away.
When President Reagan and Attorney General Edwin Meese appeared in the White House briefing room on short notice today, no one was prepared for their surprising announcements that money from the controversial Iran arms deal was secretly funneled to the Contra rebels fighting the Sandinista government of Nicaragua. According to Attorney General Edwin Meese, Admiral John Poindexter, director of the National Security Council, knew about the secret transfer of money, and one of his deputies, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, arranged it. Poindexter resigned. North was fired.
Anderson.
Here.
Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.
In LA right now, let's go to the financial desk in New York and to Bill Hurley to find out what's happening on Wall Street.
Sonny, there's only one word to describe what's happening, and that is panic. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is off almost 200 points. It is down by 191.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
It looked as if the entire city of Berlin, east and west, was out in the streets. A street party that hasn't stopped for 36 hours. The euphoria is catching, dancing down the main streets, East and West Berliners who can't get enough of their new unity.
It's a great night. There's something happening in East Berlin, and that is a feeling you must understand, and the only thing you have to do is dancing.
Ronald McDonald in.
Hand warming, hot hand warming. On a cold, cold day, it feels so neat to clap your hands together and feel the beat. Hamburgers, French fries, hot for you. McDonald's hand warming.
It's fun to do.
It's a good time with a great taste.
Doesn't mean a lot if you don't get it hooked.
Of McDonald's.
This is Jeopardy! Now entering the studio are today's contestants. A graduate student from Los Angeles, California, Deborah Howard. A bookkeeper from Temple City, California, Chuck Lubin. And our returning champion, a pricing specialist originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, Bill Klippel, whose cash winnings total $3,000. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you very much. Great audience with